And in this video we're going to look at more examples with radical equations. Now if you need to revisit that summary strategy, please do. I find those steps are really handy. But again, I want you to pause the video here. Here are all the examples. I want you to try all of them, and then I will kind of run through them, not walk but run. Okay, so pause the video, take a shot. Okay, so the first one, again, if you isolate the radical, you end up with fourth root x squared plus 8x plus 7, and then is equal to 2, isolate, and then take the fourth, each side to the fourth power. Okay, and you end up with x squared plus 8x plus 7, so the radical cancels and you get 16 on the other side, and then x squared plus 8x minus 9 is equal to 0, and then factoring x plus 9, x minus 1 is equal to 0, so then x is equal to negative 9 and 1. And this next question is going to ask you which of these, if any, are extraneous. So make sure to do this quiz now. Okay. In the second one here in the middle, again, you would isolate the radical to one side. There's two radicals, so which one do you isolate? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to say, okay, well, scratch this, put an equal sign there, okay, and so then next you would cube each side. The left-hand side has a radical isolated, the other side is also isolated, so whoop-de-doo. And then you solve this, so you get 3 minus 2x is equal to x plus 1, and then, okay, add x, or add, so you get 3x on this side, so add the 2x over, subtract the 1, 2, and then you get x is 2/3. Okay, and then now again I want you to pause the video and see if, and then tell me if this solution is extraneous or not. Okay, and for the third one, we are going to isolate a radical to one side. There is one that's already isolated. So, okay, then we're going to square both sides. Now this one's going to be a little different. 10b minus 6 is on the right side. On the left-hand side, this, again, you might have to write out square root of 2b minus 1, and then plus 3, and we have that occurring twice. Again, you cannot distribute exponents across addition or subtraction. Do not do that. I will yell at you, maybe. And so, if you FOIL this all out, you end up with 2b minus 1, because it would be 2b minus 1, or square root of 2b minus 1 squared, and then you have minus, let's go back here, plus 6 square root of 2b minus 1, because it would be 3 and another 3, and then plus 9, okay? And then now this is the one case where we need to re-isolate this term with the square root. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to subtract 2b minus 2b, and then if I simplify this, this is going to be so it's going to be plus 8. I'm going to subtract another 8, and what do I end up with? Well, I get 6 square root of 2b minus 1 is equal to 8b minus 14, and well, I could divide everything by 6 as well, I suppose. Okay, let's do that. Square root of 2b minus 1 is equal to, okay, now I have to do some math here. I'm gonna divide 6 to both of those. That's the rule. I can't just divide to 1. So I'm gonna end up with 4/3 b minus 7 over 3. Kind of a little ugly, but we can make do. Okay, and so now, and I hope I didn't make an algebra error. If I did, you're responsible to fix it. Okay, next I'm going to square both sides, okay, because I have that square root isolated, and so I get 2b minus 1 on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side I get something incredibly ugly. I think I'm going to end up with, let's see, so I'm going to fast expand this, so let's see, I get 16 over 9 b squared, and then there's going to be a minus 49 over 9 in there, and then 28 times 2 is 56, so I'm going to have minus of 56 over 9 b in there as well, and yeah, again, incredibly ugly. I'm going to just multiply both sides by 9 to clear the denominators, so I'm going to end up with 18b minus 9 is equal to 16b squared minus 56b minus 49, and then move this all over. Yep, this is surely quite ugly. I must have written this one. 16b squared, subtract 18 to that is 74? No, yes. Yep, oops, let's go back here. Minus 74b, and then I'm going to add 9 to both sides, minus 40. And now, if you are a brave soul, you can try to factor this. I don't think it will factor easily. I guess you could divide everything by 2 to make your life a little easier, but I would say at this point you would use the quadratic formula. So b is equal to plus, let's see, so it would be 74 plus or minus square root 74 squared minus 4 times 16 times 40 all over 32, 2 times a. And then whatever that gives you, great. And then still you need to check and see if those are extraneous. And I'm not going to ask you to verify if these are extraneous. I'm just going to say you would check. Okay, these numbers are not too pretty to work with. Okay, so these three examples are fairly standard problem type. So if you can kind of know how to navigate each one of these, isolate a radical, and then as needed, also then introduce the power that you need to cancel the root, re-isolate as we did in this last example, and then you can move forward from there.